I was talking in a video about all of the things that one has to do when a loved one passes away. And whenever I make one of those videos, I always emphasize the importance of getting more than one death certificate because everybody requires a death certificate in order to take care of anything. For example, my wife's sister suddenly passed away at the age of 44 a few years ago, not married, no kids. I helped handle closing everything down for my mother-in-law and my wife and my sister-in-law so that they didn't have to deal with that. And it's everybody needs a death certificate. I'm trying to shut her phone service off. They need a death certificate to prove that she died. When you're trying to get life insurance started, you need a death certificate. If you're dealing with a car title, you need a death certificate. Everybody requires a death certificate. This person here asks the following question. So do copies of death certificates work, or do you have to have original printed up by whomever? Both of my parents are in their 80s, so I'm just assuming I'm going to have to, and he goes on, have copies. It has been my experience, and my wife Renee can tell you this in better detail, that it needs to have the raised imprint seal on it. So the best thing to do is to just keep this in mind. When you're dealing with the funeral home, and they're the ones that print off the death certificates, they ask you how many copies you need. Think about how many copies you need and kind of then give yourself a little bit of a cushion. I don't remember how many that we ordered, but I know it was more than a dozen, less than 25, and we used all of them. I used a bunch of them for my father when he passed, all of them that I ordered for my sister-in-law's passing, because it's everybody. It's the bank, it's the car company, it's the insurance company, it's the phone company, it's the cable company, it's the electric company, it's the gas company, it's everything. And almost always they require that original raised, you can feel it, indented seal. So just when you're doing the funeral home stuff, you just make sure that and listen, this might be an exaggeration on my part, but it's the way I view things. If you think you need X amount, add 5%. Add another 5% so that you've got a couple of extras. Otherwise, when you run out of them, if you still need one down the line, then you got to go to the county or wherever. It's just easier to deal with the funeral home on the front end. So, I mean, I think I still have a few left over from my father, but we ran out of them for my sister-in-law. And it's one of the things that I'm going to drill into my children's heads before our time comes, which is when you're dealing, and you know what, we might even just go ahead and take care of it on the front end when we take care of our funeral arrangements. That when our time comes and we pass and you're going to give our kids the death certificate, make sure they got 25. If that's something that I can prearrange. But yeah, it's usually they need that seal, and however many you think you need, add 5% and just get it taken care of on the front end with the funeral home.